This video is sponsored by TDI Energy. When working on something, whether it's a car or even gaming, do you ever feel like this? Then TDI Energy is here to help you. TDI Energy is how an energy drink should be, with zero artificial colours, dyes and even no calories. Jitter, shake and crash free, so you feel like you can continue with your project without going back to square one. With over 15 custom made flavours, bundles, merch or even just a shaker bottle, there's plenty to choose from. Thank you so much to TDI Energy for sponsoring this channel. Use code JJRCars, all caps, no spaces, for a nice 10% off. Links are in the description below for their website as well as their Instagram page. With that said, let's get into the video. Welcome back to the channel. I've got so much to talk about, update and to show as well, so let's get into it. First things first, I want to talk about the hybrid turbo that's going on the Bora. I was waiting on this package from Turbo Rebuild Limited and they sent me a new compressor wheel. This was actually delivered for £42, believe it or not, and it's actually a complete billet wheel just like this one. So shout out to them for managing to source this with the rough measurements that I had to get, because as you can see all the blades are completely gone. If you haven't seen the breakdown video of how this happened and the story behind it, I'll put the video on the screen here so you can click on it and catch up. This was the only part I was waiting on because I've already machined out this with a T51R mod, as you can see. It's not an official T51R mod, it's something that I'm testing out to try. If it works, perfect. If not, oh well. I have actually opened this already, but I want to unbox it on the video and we'll see the difference. It actually came pretty nicely packaged. I've never bought one of these before. And as we can see, there's the new compressor wheel. And what's nice is it actually has a part number on the bottom, unlike the old one. And you can see these little machined parts here, and as well as the sort of pen marks on the side, which proves that it has actually been balanced. This is the first time that I've had them sitting side by side, and I can actually notice some very slight differences. So you can see that the old one, the damaged one, is actually sitting slightly lower, and the newer one has a bigger concave on the bottom. Again, I just had to go off using vernier calipers on all the broken parts to try and get a replacement, because JW Automotive somehow don't have these on the shelf or can make them up and send you them. You have to physically buy a complete core, which in my opinion it sucks, because this probably happens to a lot of people and they just want this part, and you have to physically buy pretty much a whole new turbo, which I don't really agree with, but hey ho, we're here now. To get this back on, I just need to heat it up and then it'll slide right onto the shaft. That's as far as it goes, but once heated up that will go all the way back. I am hoping that this fits and it will fit with the cold side as well, but that's why we're testing. Before I actually get into rebuilding all the turbo back up, I do have some more parts that I want to show off, so we'll do that now. You have seen these parts in the box before. These are the new parts that I've got for the Bora, and obviously you can tell it's another set of headlights. These are the standard headlights for a Bora, which, looking at pictures and stuff like that, I just think that the standard headlights look perfectly good for a Bora. The headlights that are on the car are like aftermarket angel eyes, which at a distance they actually look alright. I think it's because they've got the black inlays, but for me, I just like the sort of standard look of Volkswagens, especially that age. So I just went for two new standard ones. As you can see, it has got some weathering and dullness on them, but my dad actually just showed me that he had this, which is to restore headlights and scratches and plastics and stuff, and I've got this buffing wheel to do so. So I will be doing them in a separate video and then fitting them on the car as well. Next is just a set of flat wiper blades. The blades that are on the car are wrecked and old, and I prefer the flat style as well. I've got some gasket sealer here, which is OEM recommended for Volkswagens, and that is for the sump gasket, as it doesn't matter what I do to that, it just keeps leaking, and it's due an oil change anyway. So once I've drained the oil, take the sump off, reseal it, put it back on, and that should be that. And then here we've just got some little things like this courtesy light, which is missing from my driver's door, and the interior lights don't work, but I've never actually seen these bulbs before, and that is what's inside them. I'm not a big fan of fitting like LED lights to an older car. For example, these headlights with bright white LED lights, I just don't like it. I just prefer the standard dull yellow. Don't ask me why. So these are actually a sort of dark yellow to go with the front interior light, which is actually broken, so I'm trying to source one of them as well. All the parts in the big box, as I've said, I've mentioned before, but Darkside Developments actually gave me a decent discount code for this, as I mentioned what my plans are for the YouTube channel and what I'm actually doing, and they supported me and gave me a discount code which saved me a good bit of money on all of the Darkside parts that you see in the box. Those will be separate videos themselves of fitting it and testing and that sort of thing. So I just want to say a massive shout out to Darkside Developments for not only supporting me but the YouTube channel and the car, of course. And that's not me done with Darkside, because there is more stuff on their webpage that I'm going to be purchasing for the Bora. I'll put their links in the description for their website and their Instagram page to check out, because when it comes to diesel parts, I wouldn't go anywhere else. I've been waiting far too long to fit this compressor wheel, so let's get it fitted. Right, so I now need to heat this up, and hopefully it'll just slide on the shaft, it'll cool down, and that should be that set in place. And then on the end, just use the locking nut to tighten it up. And there we go, it is in place. I didn't actually know how much to heat it up, just a couple of seconds there and it's on. I genuinely have a bad habit of heating something up, grinding something, welding something, and then just going ahead and touching it. So I've learnt my lesson. I'm going to wait for it to cool down before I start trying to tighten anything or seeing if anything fits. So in the meantime, while that's trying to cool down, I'll take the cold side out, give it a wash, and then hopefully by then we can button it all back up. That's it all cleaned up. Unfortunately, I didn't have three hands to brush, hold and record at the same time. Came out pretty good though, I'm happy with that. So like I said, I just washed it, brushed it, and I just used the air compressor as well to get rid of anything that's made its way inside here and in here. And I'm glad I did so, because if you look at the bottom of the basin, you can see all the metal shavings and shrapnel that came out of it, which could have potentially ruined the turbo again. Now that this has cooled down, I'm going to put the locking nut on. I'm going to grab the hot side, as you can see, and I'll clamp that and then tighten on the locking nut. A compressor wheel to me is just an absolute thing of beauty. The fact that that came from a single piece of metal being billet is just something else like. That's it clamped at the back, as you can see, and put the locking nut on. Left hand thread, 8mm ring spanner. As I'm tightening, I can actually feel it going further in on the shaft, which is good. I think that's tight enough. Yeah, that feels good. Like, I'm just hoping now that the cold side will go on and fit. I'm just going to test fit it first. I'm not going to put any bolts in and try and tighten it, because this has to be clocked a certain way on the car, and unfortunately those photos are on this phone, so I will need to stop recording, look at them, and then properly have a look. But for now, we'll actually just see if the thing fits, which it doesn't. It is properly too big. As you can see in there, the fins are already touching the housing and it's not even on properly. Show you from the side. Far too big. It's a bit of a shame. I'm actually wondering though, what would be easier, to send this away to Turbo Rebuilds and get them to get an exact match, or do I try and get a bigger cold side which will fit over this, but then that might hinder the connection and dark side front mount kit boost pipe to fit onto here. I'm not sure how that would work. Just try to figure this out just now. That's annoying. But as well, I will include this because this is obviously a mistake on my behalf for trying to get measurements from this busted compressor wheel. And unfortunately, and this one is just too big by quite a big margin, because those have to sit just inside that housing. Looking at it, it just seems to be these outer bigger fins. The smaller 6 fins on the bottom do look to be about the same, but that's what's compromising it, is these 6 blades here. That's one of the things with trial and error, is it works or it doesn't, and in this case it's too big, it just doesn't fit, which I'm a bit gutted about because I was looking forward to actually building the whole thing up. I'm only left with an exhaust gasket and a couple of union joints to get actually on the car, but now I've got a setback and I need to figure something out. If you have any ideas or suggestions, please comment below, let me know what you think I should do. New cold side, bigger cold side, send that wheel back, try and get another one, or actually send the busted one away with it and see what they can do. Quick update on the DC2, as it has been a while, and since my last video I haven't worked on it at all, and I'm pretty annoyed at myself for that because I've literally got one of my dream cars just sitting here. However, my dad has been putting some time in, and as you can see, the fuel tank is out to make room for the welding and obviously be a bit safer. Pulling the pump out, you can see it's got all this corrosion built up on it. It's actually pretty bad. And inside the tank as well, you can see that, and that actually comes off on your finger, as you can see. My dad's actually just left and he's going to get some solution to put in the tank, try and flush it all out and clean it. So Dad, if you're watching this, thank you so much. It's much appreciated, since I've not put any time into this and been focusing on the Bora. Just to end the video off here, I actually took the Bora to its first ever car show. It was Retros in Rust 2025. I've been to many car shows in my life, car meets locally. I've been to Modified Nationals a couple of times down south. I've been to France a couple of times for the Honda show, but I've never had a car actually in a show. So I just want to thank Aidan for not only 1, allowing the Bora into the show, but 2, for organising the whole event. It went so smooth. I was there nearly first thing, straight onto the field, just watching all the cars come in, and just everything he had on site, like things for eating, things for kids, managing to actually get the overflow car park for all the other extra cars that came in. It was actually spot on. So if you're watching this, thanks very much, mate. It was a really good day out for me and the family, and also to see the Bora and some online pictures and stuff was quite surreal. I know it's not a show car, but it would be interesting to see as time goes on how much the car develops, and then maybe if I take it to next year's show, you'll see the difference between this year and next year. That's it for today's video. I would have liked for the turbo to actually have succeeded in the new compressor wheel being fitted, but it is what it is, and it's a setback, but I've learned something, and that is that you have to be very precise when it comes to turbo measurements. I'm glad I got to put out a few updates there and show off some more parts for the Bora. If you have any suggestions on what I should do with that, then please comment down below, because this is a first situation for me, and I would appreciate possibly some help and some insight of things that I've not even thought about. If you haven't already, please check out the Instagram account. I'll put all the links in the description of things that I've mentioned here. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. Since the last video, I've gained 12 subscribers, and you've no idea how much that helps me out. Even liking the video, even just a comment of like what you enjoyed about it, any criticism, honestly anything, it all helps me out. So if you haven't done that, hit the subscribe button. Don't worry, it's completely free, and I'll catch you in the next one. So thanks for watching.